right, we're gonna try some more tarp setups today. So I love this chair. It's easy to put together and it doesn't take up a whole lot of room and it's not very heavy. So it's great to have along. And I got a new table, which is I Climb. It's low to the ground, which I didn't think I would like, but I think after experiencing trying to get the other table pounded into the ground that this might be a good alternative. I'll probably take both because that's what I do. So you need to get these lined up. So one review I read did say these are not so easy to put together. And you get two legs and you put them in these slots at the end. It says to do it on a flat surface, so that's what I should be doing. And then you need to snap it into these notches. There we go. I got one side in, then we get this side in. Stand on it with my feet a little bit. Pull this back. There we go. Ta-da! So it's a nice little table. So I can put my drink on there and my microphone and my book. I'm not sure I'm going to read my book, but just in case. Brought a hat, protect myself. All right, let's get on with trying to put this tarp up. Okay, I brought my wife's trekking poles, which are used as walking sticks. These are the pair that she doesn't use anymore. And brought my new mesh tent, my regular mountain hardware tent ground cloth, and this is the tarp. So last time I put the mesh tent up first, but today I'm going to put up the tarp because I want to see if I can get it figured the way I really want it and then put the tarp tent underneath it. Got this folded in half. Last time I connected to that tree over there, but I'm not doing today. And I want a little overhang, kind of like I think what's called a baker tent, but not exactly. These two 6'2" poles. 6'2" is, I didn't do that when I was at James River State Park. I just did, instead of 5 sections, I did, or 4. Do all 5 today. That's 6.2. So we'll get these together. That's 2, 3, 4. So the bottom has a cap and the top has a point. So we have a guy line on this end. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, whoa, that is high. Okay, so now I think that is kind of what I had in mind. It's a little bit longer in the front than I was thinking, but it'd be great if it could be that because I want the tent to go towards the back and be able to sit out in front of it. That's the plan. So this is the ground cloth that goes with my mountain hardware tent. So we're gonna put this in here. This may be a challenge, just trying to put a tent up under this tarp, but we'll see. Maybe it's not. Now, out at a campground, I put a pole up like this. All right, okay, so we've got our pegs for the mesh tent. Peg this in. I've got the ground cloth from the mountain hardware tent on. Start this. All right, we got it staked out, and I see probably be better to have a smaller front and a longer back so they wouldn't get rain in there. And it's down this way, which actually is a good thing because my bike could go at that end. So this would normally go on a guy line, but it's going to go up here on there. All right, let's get this side. Now, a nice thing about not using poles to hold up each end with this tent is it has openings at both ends. And a nice big opening in the front, rather. May not be long enough. So I'm glad I have these carabiners. I can use a carabiner. This one. All right. So I can put the paracord into the carabiner, one end, and the other end through the expansion loop on the tent. Just stepped on that. So but that took a while, longer than it should have, but somewhat understandable because of the poles and not having a tree to use as a line. But I think it works out pretty well. This is probably better than the drawing that I'm showing you, because that would only be one section. Each of these, so it's 9 and 7.75 inches or feet long on each side, and that makes each of these 4 sections about 1.5 feet or so. So I've got 3 feet from the top of the tent out to here, and if I did it the other way, the tent would be closer to the front, and there'd only be a 1.5 feet overhang. So anyway, time for a drink of water. Worked up a sweat. Another recommendation is LMNT, Elements, electrolyte additive for water. It's flavorful, and it's supposed to help. Going to take advantage of this for a little while and just sit here. But I've been looking at a lot of videos on people camping in the rain. Wild Bear is one. I highly recommend her channels. She's a young British woman. I think she lives northwest of London. She has some wild videos of camping and hiking. She's going through a little bit of a health issue right now, so she's laying low. Hopefully she'll be better soon and get back to making these crazy videos. Right now she's been camping in her car or beside her car, and that's really good. So she's one I like to follow. And then there's any number of people who have great videos on tarp configurations, cooking. Sam Bananas is another guy that I've been following. He does, he seems to purposely, I think he does purposely camp in the rain. I can't envision that personally. I wouldn't do it on purpose, at least. But I'm preparing for should it rain when I'm camping, and that's what this is all about. I'm also having second thoughts. I like this mesh tent. I've never slept in it yet. One of its drawbacks is it has no loops for hanging things inside, like a light or anything else. There are no pockets. So I had to figure out something about that. Both my pump that has a light on it and the mosquito repeller, the flex tail, that has a light on it as well. And they both can be attached to a tripod, so I can put a tripod in the corner. The other kind of downside is that though it gives you great airflow, and again, I haven't slept in it, so I don't know this, but would this make sense? It gives you great airflow, and everybody says that, is you don't have a lot of privacy. Whereas in my tent, my Mountain Hardware tent, it does have mesh. It doesn't have it's not full mesh, but it does provide some privacy. So it's a toss-up. And they're just the tents alone, way about the same, really, because I think this is the tent may be a little bit heavier, but without its fly and using my regular tent with the tarp, it's a wash, really. Whether I use the mesh tent or I use my tent, maybe with my tent it's a little bit heavier. Before, my tent, with everything wrapped in it, the pegs and poles and everything, came to, I think it was 5.5 pounds. And so the tarp and this mesh tent and everything is going to come to something a little bit less than that. And especially with the tarp and or the mesh tent, I've got to take poles, and I'm only taking 2, and they're light. So, but every ounce, as I've said before, every ounce adds up to pounds, and pounds add up to a hurt back. Although I'm not carrying it on my back, at least. So, as far as my future camping plans and bike camping plans especially, I'm kind of on hold right now. We're going to be going on a trip in a couple weeks, and hopefully when we get back from that, I'll be able to do a little bit of camping. And my goal is still, as I've said before, the Virginia Capitol Trail, which goes from Richmond to Jamestown, Williamsburg, with an overnight at a camp near Charles City. So kind of a two-day trip. But I'd park the car and then be bike only. And after that one, it's maybe from Cockeysville north to the Pennsylvania line and onto the York County Heritage Trail into York, Pennsylvania, and then return, and again with one overnight, because that's only a 40-plus mile trail. I forget exactly what it is. And down the road, the other longer trails, like the New River. Our granddaughter and her husband have moved to Raleigh, so I hope to go down there, park my car in their driveway, and head off on some of the trails in Raleigh. And I had to explore camping opportunities or possibilities in that area. So that's the plan. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the breeze, because under this tree there is a breeze, and that's nice. Thank you very much for checking in on this update on my tarp adventures and my mesh tent adventures.